Welcome to Spirit360 Fellowship. We're glad you found us, yet not at all surprised. We are an independent spiritualist church. We are non-denominational, meaning that we follow the philosophies that work to help us find spiritual solutions to life problems. Our services are designed to help you practice the skills you need to find those answers within. We start with a stillness meditation, followed by a guided healing visualization. Then I will share with you a little bit about our weekly message, our weekly spiritual lesson. Then we will do a few announcements. I will conduct an absence healing service where we can send healing to our friends and loved ones who we cannot be with. And I will follow with a general message from one of my spirit guides and teachers. Also invite you to our live Zoom services where we conduct the same service, but you also receive a message from our spirit guides and teachers for your highest and best good. At Spirit360 Fellowship, we recommend and practice stillness meditation. It's a two-part practice. The first part is 5 minutes of focused concentration, where we hold the image in our mind's eye of a single thought. If you can't see images, then you want to pretend or imagine that the spot or the object of your focus is in your mind. It'll be there, just not like an image. Then we will do 5 minutes of silence, absence of thought. After I say Reverend Bradley's request, and if you know it, follow along, I will turn on the insight timer. On the first bell, hold your image in your mind's eye. On the second bell, let go of that image and drift or fall down into stillness or silence. At the clap, stay present and grounded so we can begin our guided healing visualization. Open, O Blessed Spirit, the spiritual eyes of my soul, that I may be released from the darkness overspread in me by the delusions of the outward senses, that I may perceive and understand those things spiritual. complete your meditation. And as you complete your meditation, allow yourself to shift your position as needed. And take a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, I want you to remain in a place of quiet receptivity, a place of thinking tranquility, a place I like to call the eye of the storm. And within this eye of the storm, it's a quiet place of knowing where your emotions and your thinking are quiet. The tempest of your thinking is within your control, and you are open to seeing things as they really are. This is the reason we practice the stillness meditation, because it allows us to find the quickest path to this place of knowing, this eye of the storm. I now set the intention for our healing work. And healing is a process of the human mind. Without the human mind, there is no healing. We allow our mind to touch, direct, and accept the healing energies of the universe. Some call this the divine, some call this the higher self. Regardless the name for it, the process is simple. We allow our mind to create and then direct healing energies of the universe into our spirit body, into our spirit self. By so doing, we remove any disharmonies from our etheric mold, our genetic copy, cast in our holographic spirit body, which serves as the framework for our physical, real-world body, three-dimensional body, to exist. And the way we do this is imagine a white cloud above our head. And that white cloud above our head is the most brilliant white healing luminescence you've ever seen. If you were to open your eyes and look at it directly, your eyes would tear a little bit, and you'd probably squint because it's so bright, it's so pure. It's so restorative. It's so cleansing. And as this cloud of white healing luminescence floats above our head, we set the intention that disharmony is removed from our vibration, our spiritual essence, which in turn reminds the physical body of what harmony is. And as we walk our paths in three-part harmony, mind, body, and spirit aligned as one, with nothing distracting us from our purpose, our journey for being here, that we start to thrive in this physical realm we find ourselves in, this physical realm we chose to incarnate into, that we may evolve spiritually. As you take a deep breath in, allow it to naturally flow out of your body, and as it does, allow this healing luminescence, this white healing cloud, to drift from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. I will be mentioning some milestones along the way, but allow this to progress at your own pace as it drifts past your top of your head and into your sinuses, into your eyes, down into your navel cavities, your nasal cavities, and into your ears, the roof of your mouth, relaxing those large muscles in your jaw. As it enters the top of your neck, the back of your head, the large muscles and connections there, feel everything being returned to its original factory settings, your genetic perfection, as it drifts into your throat and the upper part of your shoulders. Very good. And as this white healing luminescence flows down into your shoulders, your upper back and upper chest and upper arms, allow yourself to feel its ideal temperature, its ideal texture, its restorative healing qualities and properties that remove any and all disharmony from your spirit self, re-energizing your chi, revitalizing your energy, reinvigorating the spiritual essence of who you are, and by so doing, reminding your physical body of what harmony is as it flows into your heart and lungs, the mid part of your back, healing, restoring, rejuvenating every cell in your etheric mold, removing any and all disharmony. Your spirit body, your etheric mold, is not unlike Play-Doh or plaster, which casts a three-dimensional holographic expression of your genetic body, your genetic code, into which the physical matter or the physical manifestation of each cell is allowed to generate. By removing disharmony from the spirit body, we allow those cellular manifestations of who you are at an atomic level to be recreated at the perfect harmony, the perfect vibration, the perfect frequency. And as this healing luminescence flows towards your diaphragm, the mid part of your arms, the mid part of your back, feel the immediate results of removing disharmony from your etheric mold, your spirit body, and its direct effect in materializing harmony and wellness and health in your physical body as it moves towards your elbows, your diaphragm, and your upper abdomen, and the mid part of your back. The large muscles in your back are relaxed. Any and all knots are removed because they can't exist in the spirit body. The spirit body responds and is malleable to your thoughts, your thinking, your mindset, your beliefs. And we believe that your mind has direct control over this spirit self, the spiritual essence, the true you, the never-ending you, as this healing luminescence flows down past your elbows into the mid part of your abdomen, the lower upper part of your back. Feel your energy renewed. Feel any and all fog and disharmony leave your body, because first it is removed from your spirit and then manifest directly into each cell of your body, materializing as a healthy you. And as it enters the upper part of your forearms and the mid part of your abdomen and approaches your lower back, feel yourself re-energized, revitalized, reinvigorated. Your youthful resilience returns. The flexibility and adaptability of your body to meet the challenges of the physical world are restored as it enters the lower part of your abdomen and the upper part of your groin area and your hips. The hands are restored to perfection. Any and all damage removed from your spirit body, thus reminding the physical body of what perfection, of what harmony, of what well-being and health is, as it enters the upper part of your legs, through your groin and your pelvis area. Special attention to your lower back and your buttocks, strengthening, powering, rejuvenating all the large muscles in your core as it enters your legs. This brilliant white healing luminescence, this healing energy, created by and directed by your mind with a source from the universe. You know, healing energy exists kind of like radio signals and cell phone signals. It's around us all the time. And by allowing ourselves to create a visualized image of its expression, pure white healing luminescence, and then directing that into our spirit body, we heal as it enters your knees and your upper lower legs, drifting down towards your ankles and your feet. We know that all is well. We feel that all is well because we've just made all well. Now we are immersed in this healing luminescence from the top of our head down to the soles of our feet. Every square millimeter, every cell in our spirit body is existing in harmony with our genetic code. Now, do a quick nose-to-toes scan. Notice if there's any place that needs a little extra TLC and a little extra love, a little extra touch-up. And direct your mind to restore harmony to that area. Direct that healing luminescence there, and like an eraser, removes any disharmony from your vibration, your spiritual essence. The never-ending you. The energy you, the energy body, and by so doing, reminding the physical body of what harmony is, of what its genetic code is. And as you take a deep breath in and allow yourself to dwell in this place of harmony, this place of healing luminescence, white light, the combination of all healing vibrations, notice your energy level is improved. Notice any fog and disharmony no longer exists within your spirit body. And know, as we make these simple affirmations, that this perfect expression of you will begin to manifest and materialize in your physical body over the next several days. As we say, I am well. I am healthy. I am enough. I am worthy of health and wellness. I deserve harmony. I produce right meditation. I engage in right thought. I take right actions. I cause good karma. I am the one. I am greatly loved. And together we say, and so it is. And in your own time, open your eyes, allow yourself to get back here now in this moment, in this three-dimensional reality. And I want to thank you for taking the time to do the two most important aspects of our health and well-being. Meditation, touching stillness, allowing yourself to be here now in this moment. Finding the eye of the storm, that place within your consciousness where mind, body, and spirit all coexist as one in three-part harmony, where the chaos of the world is out beyond your arm's length, but more importantly, the tempest of your mind. Your emotions and your thinking are quiet and calm. You can see things as they really are, and by so seeing, you can then think about what it is you want to think about to inspire actionable decisions, which when acted upon, advance you towards whatever it is you want in this incarnation, in this life. Again, thank you for being here. This is T.S. Hall, the Stoic Medium, and I train old souls, empaths, and highly sensitive people how to find spiritual solutions to life's problems. I do this by helping you master the psychic and the healing arts. The method I use is called Stoic Mediumship. It's a pragmatic, no-nonsense approach to developing skills-based confidence that are displayable on command with your psychic and healing abilities. We do this in a place called the Old Soul Academy. This is the Spirit360 Fellowship. This is the door open to the world to see if you like me, if you like what we're talking about, if what we're saying rings true, if it feels right, if this is the right place for you to consider for the next steps in your spiritual journey. Again, welcome. A long, long time ago, I started this journey back in around 1987. And for the past 3 decades, I've tried to figure out what my expression is, who I am, and why I'm here, and where I'm going. And it wasn't until recently I truly accepted that where I'm going is right here, right now, in this moment, talking to you here on YouTube or Facebook or on Twitter or wherever we're happening to be connecting right now. I call myself the Stoic Medium because Stoicism is very grounded, very pragmatic in a real world, right now manner. Puts up with no nonsense from the mind, accepts three-dimensional reality at its core to help us know and understand if we're progressing in the right direction. However, mediumship, that's where the beauty comes in for me. You know, mediumship is an aspect of your psychic abilities because all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. But more importantly, the best healers are mediums. And I say that because with the guidance of our spirit guides and teachers, we can know how to best apply the healing energies of the universe for the highest and best good of ourselves and those we heal. By mastering displayable skills, we learn exactly what the boundaries of our ego are. We see beyond the delusions of our outward senses, and we allow ourselves to be here now in this moment present, connected directly to the source of our spiritual solutions, our intuitive self. You see, I say we're here to rediscover spirit. That's what we help you do at Spirit360 Fellowship. And spirit has three faces, three manifestations. Your spirit self, that's what we just healed. Your spirit guides and teachers, our friends who chose to be with us in this lifetime to help us accomplish what we incarnated to accomplish. But more importantly, that spirit for living, that verve, if you will, of knowing who you are, why you're here, and where you're going, that purpose for you being here, right now, in this body, in this lifetime, in this world, evolving towards nirvana or perfection. Again, welcome. I'm glad you found us, yet not at all surprised. The question for yourself right now is what I'm saying ringing true? Are you ready to take affirmative steps forward in developing real, tangible, displayable skills of your psychic and healing abilities? If not, I bless you and leave you on your journey. If you are, however, stay around. Join us for our practices. Allow yourself to rediscover spirit, to know that who you are is perfect. Why you're here is your choice, and where you're going provide you with the opportunity to experience life in its fullest. Today's spiritual lesson is very much centered around what I just shared with you. This is part 3 of our 4-part series of empath protection, more importantly, a 2020 holiday survival guide. And in part 1, we talked about really mapping out the script of what your holidays will be like. In part 2, we spoke about how we have a series of thoughts that we unconsciously live our life by, which beget all of our thinking. Our example was an apple is a thought. An apple pie, apple strudel, apple cider are all thinking manifestations of that original thought, but very few of us know exactly where that thought was created within our mind, the exact moment we knew the difference between apple and orange, between apple and banana. And once we understood the difference between apple and other not apples, our experience of apple became real for us. If I asked you to go to the store and buy apples, you wouldn't have any problems with it. So that was lesson 2. Now lesson 3, and this is the part where the rubber meets the road. Part 3 of our empath protection is this. It's our dress rehearsal. It's our practice, if you will. Because game day is coming up quickly. Thanksgiving Day is almost here. And Thanksgiving Day is kind of the season opener of our real games, our real life experience of exactly how spiritual we are. And what I mean by that is simply this. We each have these thoughts within ourselves, these concepts like apple, about who we are, about how we interact with our family, with the world, our relationships with close friends, romantic relationships, work relationships. We have them around our finances and our money. And all of those beliefs, all of that mindset, all of those thought forms that exist under the turmoil and the tempest of your thinking and your emotions run the show. There's a big thing lately about how certain people who are very sensitive are triggered. Trigger alert. A lot of very conservative people make fun of this. More liberal and sensitive people are at the effect of it. So you have these buttons that our friends and loved ones that we typically spend the holidays with, first of all, help program, but more importantly, know how to push. So we have these triggers that are armed and fused and ready to be pushed to send us down an unconscious behavioral path that we know where it will lead us. We will be exhausted. We will be fatigued. We will end the holidays and just, Most of us get that way before we even get to the holidays, because the emotional concern and the emotional baggage we carry, knowing that the buttons that are unconsciously running our life are about to be pushed. Today's lesson, number 3 of our 4, is how do we deprogram? How do we diffuse these triggers, these buttons? And I wish there was an easy way. Some people use hypnosis. The problem I have with hypnosis is your mind is still consciously aware of what's going on, and your results are only as good as the person doing the hypnosis and your willingness to be hypnotized. My experience with my own inner work, my own deprogramming and defusing my triggers, as well as helping others, is it's more in the real world experience of life where we catch ourselves having our buttons pushed that allows us to mindfully, consciously, and deliberately unwire, defuse, deprogram that button. Now, I don't know about you, but the holiday season is big time on us. People are starting to get crazy. Their driving is starting to get crazy. Everything around us is beginning to get craziness. And this craziness is the perfect opportunity for you to see the red flags, the warning signs, the symptoms, the indicators that your buttons are about to be pushed. Someone pulls out in front of you. Someone takes his parking space. Someone in line at the store is not nice to the clerk. Someone in line at your coffee shop is having a bad day and making sure that everyone else around them has their bad day. The thing is each one of these circumstances, each one of these scenarios reminds us of certain situations in our life that are underlying indicators, pointers, red flags to a belief about the world. But that belief was not consciously created. As we go through this next few days before Thanksgiving holiday, and this holiday seems to be even more crazy because it's not the typical holiday. We have restrictions, we have concerns, we have considerations. Most of us have never faced before. So we're not only going into a very predictable situation, which we created in our lesson 1, when then we have our own beliefs and unconscious thoughts that we kind of looked at in lesson 2. But now we got the unpredictability of a pandemic, which very few of us have ever experienced in this body in this lifetime with these triggers and these emotional concerns. So what does all of that have to do with lesson 3? Simply this: allow yourself to observe any time you're not present in the moment here and now. Anytime you're given experiencing not being here now in this moment. That's the lesson 3. Catch yourself being triggered. Because here's the thing. The people you encounter between now and your holiday game day, they don't know you. You don't have a history with most of them. So there's no emotional connection there, and they're still triggering you. When you walk into the environment where everyone knows you, Everyone has an opinion about you. Everyone has their own thought of you, driving their behaviors, the masters at pushing your buttons. Then you have an emotional investment to play out your role the way it gets played out. Okay, here's the practice. Notice when you get upset. Notice when you get tired. Notice when your mind starts to run into a overthinking whirlwind. When the tempest within you is so noisy, you can't even hear your intuitive self think. Because remember, a spiritual solution is a solution inspired by your spirit, your intuitive knowing. And the spiritual solutions to life's problems comes from our ability to stay present here now in this moment and connect with that intuitive self, that intuitive knowing. Life is a daring adventure. But more importantly, that daring adventure is to find your place, your path, the essence of who you are, why you're here, and where you're going. By so doing, you evolve towards nirvana, perfection. Your family game day, whether you meet via Zoom or in person, you're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, where all of the cast of idiots in your family tree, your circle of influence and your circle of friends play out their roles ideally. You have the opportunity to consciously choose how this affects you. It is indeed your birthright. And it is no more than a series of skills-based practices that allow you to develop the confidence to engage or not, to correct or not, to authentically express and be who you are in this world, regardless the circumstances. You know, there's the serenity prayer. To change what you can, accept what you can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Spirituality, Stoicism, Spiritualism is that wisdom. As we mentioned in lesson 2, there's this tug of war between our instinct to survive and our intuitive knowing. Our instinct to survive is given by the delusions of our outward senses, our animal body, this three-dimensional reality of their soul and genetic code. Your intuitive knowing is given by your spirit self, that part of you that we healed not very long ago, that allows ourselves to evolve towards nirvana, oneness. It's the divine within, the higher consciousness. As we wrap up with this lesson 3, I want you to take into consideration one thing and one thing only. This lesson 3 is the first step in truly allowing yourself to rediscover and be informed by spirit. Not only your spirit self, but your spirit guides and teachers. And the end game that you have in mind for this holiday season, that's the verve, the spirit for living, that enthusiasm of you authentically being who you are, taking the steps along your pathway in service of why you're here, taking you to a destination of your choosing. I want to thank you for listening, for being here. You can ask me any questions in the comments below. And I want to wrap up with one thing. Who you are is perfect just the way you are and just the way you're not. Unconditional love is accepting yourself exactly the way you are and exactly the way you're not. Your expression of unconditional love is authentically who you are, the way you can express it. And one last challenge. If this makes sense to you, excellent, you may be in the right place. If not, you probably left a long, long time ago. But if it does make sense to you, realize that all the answers you need are within. You just need to practice listening to them, hearing them, and have your actions given by them. Thank you. Okay, so that was Terry the Talker. Now we have a few announcements, and the announcements are simple. One, we have a school at oldsoul.academy. The classes are being created right now. Our goal is to launch in January. You can go ahead and pre-register now and take the 2 classes that are available. And it's an Introduction to Spirituality 101, the basics of what our philosophy is and the skills-based practices that we engage in. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about me, about the church, about what's going on. You can also this is a live stream, so you can let me know in the comments of the live stream, and I'm here answering them for you. If this feels right, if it rings true, give us a thumbs up. Let Google and YouTube and other people know that you found this useful. It's anonymous, but your thumbs up let Google and YouTube know that what we're doing, you found it useful. Second way you can help us if this rings true is to make a comment below, ask me any questions, and you can also make a contribution to what we're up to. The contributions are, we accept cash. You can share this video in your other Old Soul, Empath, and highly sensitive person communities, and let others and help us attract other like minds and kindred spirits to who you are. And you can also invite a friend. So those are ways you can contribute to help us grow and expand what we're doing here. I want to thank you for your attention and your consideration of sharing what we're up to with others. And if you make whatever contribution you make, I appreciate and thank you for. It's now time for us to do an absence healing. Absence healing works only while we're live on YouTube or in our Zoom services that are live. Absence healing is not prayer. If prayer alone worked, there would be no illness, there would be no sickness, there would be no death in the world. Your prayers are not answered very often, so there has to be something else going on, something else required. We say that something else is the 3 parts to an absence healing. The first part is your mind creating and holding an image of to whom you would like to send the healing. The second part is my mind projecting and holding the healing energy, the same energy we used while we were doing our guided healing visualization. And the third part is inviting our spirit guides and teachers to take the energy I project and sending it to those you image for their highest and best good. After a very brief prayer, you'll hear 3 bells. Every time you hear a bell, change the person to whom you're sending the healing. So you can send healing to 3 people. I will provide the energy for 3 minutes. And at the end, we will thank our spirit guides and teachers and complete the absence healing service. And again, this is only valid, it only works while we're live on YouTube and I'm on the chat in the comments, or you're joining us via Zoom for our live services. I invite our spirit guides and teachers to step very close to us to assist us in sending these healing energies to the universe, to those imaged for their highest and best good, that they may experience health, harmony, complete peace of mind, and well-being. Begin with the bell. I thank our spirit guides and teachers for their assistance in directing these healing energies to those so imaged for their highest and best good. Amen. Thank you for your love demonstrated by sending those healing energies to those in your life this morning. I've been doing this, as I mentioned, for over 3 decades. And the hidden treasure of spiritualism as a philosophy and a set of practices is the fact that we can learn the healing arts. So many people are interested in the healing arts, but so few people allow themselves to truly master their healing abilities, the mastery of which allows for harmony in their own life and the harmony in the lives of others. The last part of our service is a message from our spirit guides and teachers. This is the live stream on YouTube, and I will offer a message for our overall community from one of my spirit guides and teachers. I use a technique called inspirational speaking. This is a form of mediumship, which is a very, very light level of trance. I basically get my mind out of the way just a wee little bit, and whatever I am communicated goes straight through my mind without me processing it and out my mouth. If you join us during our live Zoom services at 7:30 and 10:30 on Sunday, I offer all of the attendees on our Zoom services a message from our spirit guides and teachers for their highest and best good. Since you're not here and we're not connected right now in real time, this is the next best thing, a general message for us all. So open your mind to hear and receive what this contribution is for you. And let's see who would like to share a message. So this morning, Nathan is my companion guide and healer, healing teacher. He would like to share a message. Let's see what Nathan has to say. Between where you are and where you want to be is one simple object, a block, if you will, a barrier. And that block or that barrier is in the form of a thought that governs your actions, a thought that is the source of all of your thinking. Your beliefs, as is popular to say these days, your mindset. This barrier to action, this barrier to causing the results you want, is as real as a speed bump, as a block wall, as a mountain protruding from the plain. Why do I mention this? Because all too often, you look for things outside yourself to walk around this barrier, to break down this barrier. You're looking for some tool, some tip, some technique, something to help you find the motivation, the inspiration to remove this barrier. Sometimes this barrier is in the form of another person. Sometimes you think this barrier is in the form of some economic disadvantage. Sometimes this barrier is a physical limitation. You're not pretty enough or handsome enough. You're not attractive in some way. But indeed, remember that the answers you seek are within you. As this entity has recently discovered, this tug-of-war, as he describes it, between your instinct to survive and your intuitive knowing is the barrier. What you think about the world has not been examined. What you think about yourself has not been examined. Allow yourself the simple gift of turning off your thinking. Once you turn off your thinking, your emotions calm down. With calm emotions and no overthinking, you allow yourself to see the thoughts that have given you the results in the life you have right now. Let me say that again. You see the thoughts that have given you the results you have in your life right now. Allowing yourself to find that thought, the one that stops you, the one that has you make the same mistake over and over and over again. That thought that allows you to keep on becoming intimate with people you know are not good for you. That thought that has you spend money you don't have. That thought that has you turn to food or alcohol or drugs. That thought is the only thought that matters. The answer is within, to allow yourself to consciously recreate, to reform, to manifest, if you will, a thought form which begets actions informed by your right thought that indeed bring about your good karma, your desired result. The problem is, meditation requires time and practice. Are you going to spend your time and practice looking for answers on the internet or from friends? Or are you going to spend your time and effort going within to see the true source of your barriers? More importantly, the true beauty of the human being, of the spirit entity that is blocked by these barriers. So as you think, so as you are. So as you think you shall become, so shall you become. Allow yourself to have your thoughts informed by your spirit self rather than your animal self. And notice just how wonderful life is. My highest blessing. Thank you, Nathan. You know, I've been doing this for a good long time. And the thing about inspirational speaking is I can hear what's being said, and every time he uses the word my entity or this entity, it's hard for me not to pay extra attention and to keep my mind within the proper level of control, not to influence what's about to be said next, because usually there's some little truth that I think I'm hiding. The thing is, I'm not hiding it from you, I'm hiding it from me. Anyway, that was Nathan. That was a message for our highest and best good. I can't wait to play it back to see exactly what all was said, because when I'm doing inspirational speaking, it comes in and goes out so quickly it doesn't register in my long-term memory. So I have to go back and play the message to see what happens. So that's Spirit360 Fellowship. I want to thank you for your time and your interest here today. Again, if you like what we're doing, if it feels right, if it rings true, give us a thumbs up. If you're so inclined, share this with your communities. If you would like to, subscribe to our channel. Join our YouTube community of like minds and kindred spirits. If you would like to join us for our Zoom service, we have one starting at 10:30 this morning Pacific time. You can go to spirit360.org and click the Get Your Invite button, and we will email you instructions how to join us. And I look forward to meeting you in person via Zoom and next week via YouTube. Until then, I remind you of this one koan that spiritual is as spiritual does. Get busy doing some spiritual things. Bye-bye.